welcome to our presentation regarding Tim Hortons' application of corporate social responsibility. I shall be covering the introduction all the way to stakeholder management, and my partner, Paige Broadley Elms, will be covering the challenges faced all the way to the conclusion. We now begin with the introduction. Tim Hortons is known as the home of Canada's favorite coffee, donuts, sandwiches, etc., being the largest quick-service food chain within the country and having over 3,000 restaurants open. Their tagline is always fresh, which matches with their desire to serve high-quality, great-tasting food or beverages each and every day to their customers. Now for some more background on the company. Tim Hortons was founded in 1964 by ice hockey player Timothy Horton and Ronald Joyce. Joyce played a huge role in Tim Hortons' works regarding the giving back to the community, founding the Tim Hortons Children's Foundation. Since then, Tim Hortons has played a role in Canadian identity, with over 80% of the country taking part of the brand through consuming their food or purchasing whatever products at least once a month. They engage with the community through many ways, mainly through their organizations such as Timbit Sports and their foundation camps. It is to be known, however, that a lot of these foundations and groups that were made by Tim Hortons to give back to the community were not founded by Timothy Horton himself, but Ron Joyce after Timothy Horton's death. Timothy Horton himself, however, was an ice hockey player serving for multiple teams throughout his career. Now for the motivation for engaging in corporate social responsibility. As previously mentioned, Ron Joyce's works within the company has ingrained giving back to the community into the brand's identity. The majority of the charity organizations are involved with and being ran by the company itself, which matches its mantra of its founding days. This is shown in their methods for obtaining coffee, prioritizing local exports and non-profit organizations, as well as producer organizations for the sake of improving the lives of local farmers, and paired with sustainability in tow. To put in other words, it would be worse for Tim Hortons to not engage with corporate social responsibility because it would go against the standards set by its own founders. Tim Hortons claims to prioritize these, and they seek to contribute sustainability through the improvement of these lives by local farmers, as previously mentioned. There's also obviously a financial benefit to engaging in CSR, with tax deductions being available for these actions through charities, for example. Before we discuss their strategy of corporate social responsibility, let's define it real quick. CSR is based on the belief that businesses and organizations have a much greater duty to society at large, more than just providing jobs, making profits, and producing products. It asks its leaders to consider their decisions in an environmental and social aspect, considering their impacts more specifically. In terms of Tim Hortons' actions so far, they've gone the extra mile to remove plastic straws, incorporating new and improved biodegradable products, and overall said to be improving environmental sustainability. They've also produced wooden and fiber cutlery for guests rather than plastic to reduce more of that plastic waste, and a partnership with Loop Containers has been brought to Tim's to ensure more green cups are being used. In the case of their more green products that we've previously mentioned, we can judge how they have been done based on the Environmental Impact Assessment, also known as EIA, which allows companies, organizations, and government decision makers to examine the effects of the proposed projects. In the case of Tim Hortons, their shift to paper straws, wooden fiber, or biodegradable cutlery, and the use of these reusable cups and containers have greatly aided their hopes to be more environmentally friendly. They've also done other means of impact assessments through their engagement of CSR, from hockey sponsorships to a great spot to stop by and just grab something to eat. And Tim's has become a part of many daily routines and impacted a lot of lives. For example, every year Tim Hortons creates a unique program that designs and sells a special smile cookies for a full week. It's said that all of these proceeds go to local charities, hospitals, and more community programs. Before we can fully go into stakeholder engagement, let's list a few of these stakeholders in question. In the case of Tim Hortons, we have the customers, the suppliers, such as farmers, for example, the animals, the environment, and the people within the company, such as employees or the franchise owner. Restaurant Brand International, the company that owns Tim Hortons, and other organizations such as Popeyes or Firehouse Subs breaks down how Tim Hortons engages with some of their stakeholders. As previously mentioned, Tim Hortons engages with the community through its multiple foundations. This engagement covers many stakeholders from multiple areas, such as the customers and employees, for example. Regarding animals and the environment, RBI's brands are part of several organizations that concern itself with sustainability, including but not limited to the Global Roundtable for Sustainable Beef, the Clean Energy Buyers Alliance, and the United Nations Global Compact. We also see their interaction with the environment and their overall engagement with the environment through the previously mentioned phasing out of needless waste. I now welcome Paige to begin her half. She will begin with the challenges faced regarding the engagement of corporate social responsibility.
When looking at challenges faced, Tim Hortons operates in a highly competitive quick service industry with many competitors such as, but not limited to, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and McDonald's. These competitors can affect Tim's market share and even potentially lead to price wars, ultimately impacting profitability. Additionally, Tim Hortons faces challenges in changing consumer preferences. As consumer preferences evolve, Tim Hortons must adapt to its menu and offerings accordingly. Failure to keep up with these demands, such as the demand for healthier options like gluten-free and/or plant-based alternatives, may result in a loss of customers and market share. Another challenge includes economic fluctuations. Recession and downturns in the economy can lower customer spending, which would impact Tim Hortons' earnings. The reliance on the Canadian market exposes it to possible volatility in the economy. Other challenges may include labor changes and rising costs, environmental concerns, and/or cyber security risks. When it comes to success stories for Tim Hortons, a great example is their Timbits Sports program. Within this program, they have managed to provide jerseys, socks, medals, and many more for both the soccer and hockey teams. It is evident that they have supported over 220,000 children within Timbits soccer per season and over 90,000 children with Timbits hockey. The purpose of these sports is so children aged between 4 and 8 can both engage in physical activity in the forms of sports, as well as to make friends within these activities, even allowing whole associations to be enrolled in this program. The reputation of Tim Hortons programs are overall positive in my opinion, especially considering that Hockey Canada, the official governing body of the sport within the country, promotes the program for children under 7, even claiming that over 100,000 jerseys were provided by them nationwide. Some of the many lessons Tim Hortons have learned over the years includes, but are not limited to, standing out from its competitors, being environmentally friendly, i.e., that is, the paper straws, biodegradable cutlery, reusable cups and/or containers, etc. It's also following the ever-changing food trends, the many Timbits hockey sponsorships, and many more. Tim Hortons has been a brand that impacts many Canadians, thus it's highly important that they strive to overcome their many hurdles along the way, making them the company they are today. In regards to the future outlook, Tim Hortons hopes to improve in places where their program lacks. This can be seen in their foundation camps. This improvement is seen regarding users who could not physically attend the camps for whatever reasons, this improvement being that of e-camps, which started in 2021. Although the main focus of the camps were learning skills through physical activities, e-camps focus mainly on social and emotional learning. In 2022, the quality of this program scored 68%. They plan to improve this in the future, but there's no such data of improvement as of yet. When it comes to integration of the long-term CSR, we see this integration in their previously mentioned community works, as it is integrated into the community's identity, with giving back to the community being present since its founding. It promotes sustainability through work with smaller local farms in tandem with non-profit organizations like Eventras, which play a role in how their coffee and other food products are sourced. When it comes to the environment, as previously mentioned, Tim Hortons has been focusing on using recycled materials for their products and phasing out needless plastics and wasteful practices. In conclusion, as we have shown, Tim Hortons has engaged in corporate social responsibility in many ways and multiple angles. In the case of the environment, they support local farms and frequently work with agencies and NGOs concerning sustainability. On top of that, they also have their products made with recyclable material and plan to continue that trend onward. In the case of giving back to the community, there are multiple organizations created by them that revolve around such acts, with the mantra being built into the company's identity. These engagements also have their drawbacks, as the organizations only seem to support a specific demographic, something they have been trying to expand in recent years. Lastly, here is a list of all of our references, and thank you so much for listening.